Tonight, we know the names of a mother and her 2-year-old son who died in a tragic fall at Petco Park. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. 40-year-old Raquel Wilkins and her 2-year-old son, Denzel Browning Wilkins, died on Saturday. News 8's Jesse Pagan is in our newsroom tonight with what we've learned about the mother and son. Jesse?
Yeah, Marcella, Carlo, I talked with Raquel's father, Donald, earlier this afternoon. He said Raquel was a school vice principal and was, quote, smart as a whip. He says baby Denzel was her life. She was, quote, really lovey to him and wouldn't hurt him. That's why he says he doesn't think the fall was on purpose. Now, this was a scene Saturday afternoon that caused all of this right after the fall. Detectives say Wilkins and her son were at a concession stand before the fall. According to police officers assigned to the game, got the call and rushed over to find the bodies. The officers started CPR, but emergency crews pronounced mom and son dead at the scene. Witnesses have told us Wilkins was holding her son as they fell and did not hear any screams. Others have said it seemed Wilkins was trying to save her son from falling over the rail. In a statement today, the department says, in part, quote, the police department understands the interest in this tragic event and the questions that have arisen. How and why this happened are questions on the minds of many, especially the investigators looking for answers in this heartbreaking case. Detectives are still working on what they're calling an exhaustive investigation here. They say they're talking to many of the people at the game who might have seen what happened. Donald, meanwhile, says he got a text with a picture of Raquel and Denzel at the game Saturday. He says he's now preparing to fly here tomorrow for the funeral.
The San Diego Unified School District is moving forward with its plan to require all eligible students and staff to get the COVID-19 vaccine.
Today, district leaders held a news conference laying out the deadline to get vaccinated and what the path forward will be for those who choose not to get the shot.
News 8's Kelly Hessedal has more on that and whether a statewide mandate could be coming.
Well, students 16 and older are now required to be vaccinated by December 20th. San Diego Unified is the latest district to approve a vaccine mandate, but the board says a statewide mandate could be coming.
It is now time for reality. We've been in this pandemic now for over a year and a half. And it's really time now for us to move on.
Moving forward with its plan to get all eligible students and staff in the San Diego Unified School District vaccinated. School Board President Richard Barrera.
You got to get your first shot by roughly around Thanksgiving time. You have to get your second shot before the winter break. We want to see full immunity by January.
The deadline applies to students 16 and older. The board recommends 12 to 15-year-olds get the vaccine too, but won't be required to until full FDA approval is granted. Barrera says the only exemptions that will qualify are medical exemptions.
We will not allow religious or personal exemptions, and that's consistent with state law about existing vaccines. These are health and safety issues. So we're applying that same, logic to the COVID vaccine.
Students who don't meet the December 20th deadline will be required to enroll in the district's online program and will not be allowed on campus. Barrera says that program is already up and running, and there are currently 1,700 students taking part in it. Staff members who choose not to get vaccinated could face termination.
And what we think is happening now is that momentum is building for a statewide mandate, which we also think is the right thing to do.
Here's what Dr. Erica Pan with the state told News 8.
It is certainly one of the conversations we are having. It is very important to us as a state to have safe and successful schools and having a safe school environment. So again, many conversations are happening.
So we will just have to wait and see what happens. The board president, however, says there are plans to go to Sacramento to push for that statewide mandate. Back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Meantime, the group Let Them Breathe will be in court tomorrow for an emergency hearing. The group is requesting a restraining order against the state to block the enforcement of mask mandates, COVID testing, and quarantine rules in schools for all K through 12 students. If their request for a restraining order is not granted, Let Them Breathe says they will push forward with their lawsuit seeking the same relief. A deadline has been extended for San Diego police personnel to get the COVID vaccine, but there is concern that some officers would rather quit than get the shot. We hear from the San Diego Police Officers Association coming up in our next half hour.
A Santa Barbara father accused of killing his 2 young kids in Rosarito pleaded not guilty in federal court downtown today.
FBI agents say Matthew Coleman confessed to murdering his 10-month-old daughter and 2-year-old son because He thought they had, quote, serpent DNA. Coleman waived his right to a bail hearing. He'll be back in court in November.
Jury deliberations continue today over whether to send convicted killer Jesse Gomez to death row for murdering a San Diego police officer. Closing arguments were laid out yesterday. Gomez was found guilty earlier this month in the murder of Officer J.D. de Guzman and wounding his partner back in 2016. While there is a moratorium right now on executions in the state, ordered by Governor Gavin Newsom, Gomez can still be sentenced and sent to death row.
Mayor Todd Gloria is in the center of a social media storm, but it has nothing to do with his policies or plans.
Instead, it's his dance moves and lip syncing. News 8's Steve Price has more on the video that has some people upset.
It's not unusual for San Diego politicians to participate in funny videos for nonprofit fundraisers, but Mayor Todd Gloria is being trashed on Twitter this week for his role in a recent music video. So is it unprofessional or just a politician taking a chance to show his lighter side? You be the judge.
The video was shown at a fundraiser sponsored by the Downtown San Diego Partnership.
Cause I knew it from the start. Kevin didn't have that spark, so I had to come again and bring a new day in.
The event honored Gloria for his return to the mayor's office, but some say the video went too far, posting on social media, awkward, painful, cringy. I was uncomfortable the whole time I was watching it. I'd say keep your day job, but maybe no, you shouldn't have that either.
It's alright, 'cause
But others got a kick out of the video. Call me crazy, but I like it. It's goofy. And City Councilman Chris Cade, a Republican, defended the mayor, a Democrat, posting, "It was a roast. It was a bleeping joke." Gloria has participated in music videos before, and he's not alone. Kevin Faulkner, when he was mayor, also showed off his skills.
twist and shout, twist and shout. Come on, baby, now. Come on, baby, come on and work it on out.
We also found sketches with county supervisors and city council members, and who can forget this instant classic from 2015.
You think your name is going to be on that plaque?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty arrogant.
Yes, sir.
I kind of like that in the mayor. Well, in most mayors.
Political analysts say likability is electability, so they understand why politicians participate.
Some politicians are very serious. Others are more self-effacing. And some voters like that. They find that more endearing.
Steve Price, News 8.
You be the judge.
There was a spike in hate crimes last year, and the FBI is focused on stopping that trend. The agency is launching its San Diego hate crimes reporting campaign this week as part of the effort.
The goal is to better educate the public on what a hate crime is and how to report one. News 8's Heather Hope shows us where you can spot one of the FBI's PSAs.
In an effort to push more people to report hate crimes, the FBI is taking their message to the streets literally by putting their advertisements up on buses and on bus stops and even taking it to social media.
We find that people are not reporting these crimes for a variety of reasons.
To encourage San Diegans to report a hate crime, the FBI launched its Hate Crimes Reporting campaign to spread awareness.
So the ads are out in multiple languages, in multiple formats, right? We're in print media, digital media, the bus ads, the transit shelters, all with the goal of getting people to report hate crimes.
On the bottom of the ads, not only is there a number and website to contact the FBI, there is also a QR code in the bottom corner.
The QR code will take you right to the FBI tip site, so then you can enter your information and report the crime that you want to report.
FBI Special Agent William McNamara says all 56 FBI field offices kicked off this campaign to last through the end of the year, since many people may not know what defines a hate crime.
Hate crimes are traditional offenses like murder, arson, or vandalism, with that added element of bias.
Those bias motivations include disability, gender identity, religion, gender, sexual orientation, race, and ethnicity. FBI stats from 2020 show over 7,500 single bias incidents involving over 10,000 victims. Hate crimes against the API community also shot up last year. McNamara says much goes into the hesitancy in reporting.
Maybe they don't understand what they've witnessed or what has happened to them as a hate crime. 2, maybe they're hesitant to report that they've been victimized by a hate crime. Or 3, it could be a lack of trust with law enforcement that nothing will be done.
To reach diverse communities, the FBI spread its PSAs throughout San Diego County in multiple languages.
We wanted to maximize our exposure, so the buses would be moving targets on different routes, moving throughout the city. We have also placed ads in smaller local periodicals to target different populations.
Based on stats from last year, the FBI records that over 28% of hate crimes occurred near homes and residences, while 20% occurred near roadways, highways, and the sidewalk. Heather Hope, News 8.